Well, hello, students. I am certainly looking forward to seeing all of you on Saturday, but not just like this. Right now, since the Bruins didn't make it, I'm kind of, back on board with the Red Sox, so thought I'd be in the mood today. Um, anyway, it was brought to my attention that you need clarification on that 3 to 6 page uh, paper, the exploratory paper that AS1 asked you to do. Um, I'm sorry that didn't have more clarification, so I'm going to clarify it for you now. Technically, the class, today's the 7th of May, so the class doesn't start till tomorrow. But anyway, that exploratory paper is going to be something that I really think you could do that's going to relate to the whole crux of the course. It's going to set the format. So let me clarify. What research does is it usually identifies, or one of the things that it does, one of the major reasons why we do research is to identify a problem area. And through research, we want to outline what we can do to solve the problem. But there are a series of methodical steps that we go through for problem solving when doing research. So, in this exploratory paper, I don't want you to go crazy. I don't want you to be too quantitative or qualitative. Remember, we only have 7 weeks. I look for APA, but essentially it's double spaced and it is typewritten, obviously. And if you're familiar with APA, usually anything that you quote, which is 40 words or less, is followed by the author's name and the date. If it's more than 40 words, then you indent the quote. I'm hoping no one's going to look up things that are more than 40 words, but that's kind of block form. But getting away from all that, what I'm really looking for in this paper is for you to identify some type of a problem that I want to make it close to home so that you can relate it to your work. That's what these courses are about. It's coming up with the tools that you need to help solve problems. This course in research is not meant to make you a statistician. What it's meant to do is to help you identify with the premises of research, which give your project management degree a holistic viewpoint of what it means to identify problems in a methodical way. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Go to, at work, identify some type of a problem. Develop a hypothetical on that problem. What's a hypothetical? It's kind of an if-then statement. It's like, what do I think is going to happen before I do my research? So number one, this is what I want you to do in your paper. Identify a problem, and then tell me what you think you might need to do before you actually solve the problem. So it doesn't mean that the research is going to be invalid if you come up with something after the research. In fact, that's the whole point why you do the research. So what I want you to do is identify a problem and tell me rather, what you think might be causing the problem. Okay? Once you've identified that, come up with 4 or 5 things that you think would solve your hypotheses. In other words, what are some things you might want to research? Because those things that you're going to research are going to be something we're going to talk about down the road, which we call a literature review. That means we're going to actually research all the different literature that's going to support how we're going to solve the problem. So I don't want you to do anything like that right now. All I want you to do is come up with a problem, identify it in detail, tell me how, number two, you think you'll solve the problem now. Okay? In other words, for the limited information that you have. And then the third thing is, what type of research you're going to be looking at? Like, what are you going to have to investigate solving this problem? And that'll be a component of your literature review. So, for example, if you're looking at demographics, you're going to have to get to the Department of Labor and Statistics. If you're looking at solving different problems, you might have to even interview someone. Like come up with a research question or questions. The other thing is when you're solving problems, okay, you're going to be able to relate one problem to another solution. Things kind of piggyback off of one another. But I'm not looking for the multiple hypotheses or the multiple problems. Come up with one major focus. Identify how you think you will solve the problem. Come up with 4 or 5 goals and objectives, that is, areas or resources where you think you can solve the problem related to the hypotheses. And that's all. That's it. That's the crux of the paper that I'm looking for. I hope this is helpful. Start working on it as soon as you can. And I'll see you guys on Saturday.